That is, oh, yes. Oh, yes. People don't understand this. And I might get some flack from the pro-life community on this take, but this is what I fully believe. What's up, guys? Welcome to Let It Be Heard, where we are doers of the word, not hearers only. I'm your host, Jaden Heard, and today we got an exciting video for you. We're going to be talking about this terrible news coming from AP News about Boy Scouts no longer being called Boy Scouts. We also have this incredible story from a former Starbucks employee who was fired for her Christian values. And then lastly, we're going to wrap it up with an amazing video from this guy whose daughter was tragically taken from him at 5 months. She was aborted from Students for Life. So it's going to be a good episode. Stay tuned for the end. And we have an exciting announcement, so stay tuned for that as well. Check it out. All right, guys, so we have a story out of AP News. You guys probably all heard it. But, yeah, news broke out. The Boy Scouts of America has officially changed their name. And it's the purpose of this is to be more inclusive, you know. So they're calling it Scouting America, which is stupid. What the heck does that even mean? Scouting America. Like, what does that even mean? Like if I'm new to all this stuff, if I'm new to what Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts are and all this stuff, and I'm a child, and my parent asks, "Hey, do you want to sign up for Scouting America?" Mom, what the heck is that? What the heck is that? What even is that? Oh, it's Boy Scouts. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's basically our problem here. What the heck is Scouting America? They could have at least named it something better than that, I feel like. But anyway, I had this article out of AP News. It's titled Boy Scouts of America Changing Name to More Inclusive Scouting America After Years of Woes. This article is written by Jamie Stengel. So apologize if I say that wrong, Jamie, but I didn't make your last name. Okay. So anyway, it says here, the Boy Scouts of America announced after 114 years that it will change its name and become Scouting America in an effort to emphasize inclusion as it works to move past the turmoil of bankruptcy and a flood of sexual abuse claims. Very interesting about this whole thing is no one wants this except for the tippity top of Boy Scouts of America. The Boy Scouts themselves do not want this. It's actually kind of funny. Ask any Boy Scout. This may be anecdotal, okay? This may be anecdotal, but anecdotal is still evidence, okay? And it's definitely telling when every single piece of anecdotal evidence points to the same conclusion. And so when you have literally every single Boy Scout of America that I've seen on TikTok, on Instagram, that I know personally, and families of those Boy Scouts saying, hey, this is stupid, we don't want this, I'm ashamed to call myself a Boy Scout because you guys are a bunch of wokey wokes, then you're wrong, okay? And it's not always true that the majority opinion is right, but again, the actual people of the organization, the reason why Boy Scouts of America exists is because of Boy Scouts, okay? And your own, literal customer, your own entity is telling you, hey, this is wrong. We don't want this. And no one wants this. It's stupid. I doubt even the left genuinely cares whether or not Boy Scouts is named Boy Scouts. Okay? We're going to keep reading this article in a second, but I want to kind of touch on this. Do y'all remember the classic Ben Shapiro clip where he owns this leftist chick, and she's like, where does it say that Boy Scouts have to be boys? And then Ben Shapiro's like, in the name Boy Scouts. I'm going to include the video. Play it.
Are going to dictate to me that I'm supposed to pretend that men are women and women are men. No. My answer is no. I'm not going to modify basic biology because it threatens your subjective sense of what you are.
Okay, but you're still saying these kids should not be accepted because they don't really fit in either place? They can't just
I'm saying that the Boy Scouts have a standard. You must be a biological boy to be a Boy Scout. You have to be a boy to be a Boy Scout.
Where's that written though? Okay.
In the name Boy Scouts. Because this is a very for all of human history, boy meant boy and girl meant girl. Boy did not mean girl.
2017 though, like, people are very more saying this culture.
And if I call you a moose, are you suddenly a moose? Okay, if I redefine our terms. No, it's a, yeah.
So yeah, anyway, so yeah, Ben Shapiro, very funny. And what's interesting about this whole story is not only does it ruin the Ben Shapiro meme in the name Boy Scouts, which is so funny, but it also ruins 114 years of tradition. I mean, like, think about it. If you were a Boy Scout in your childhood, I mean, I wasn't. I had nothing to do with that. And then you worked your way up all the way up until, I don't know, Eagle Scout, or I don't know the specifics of it. But imagine now you're gonna have to tell your grandkids that, yeah, it was once called Boy Scouts. Now you have to explain to your grandkid why they renamed it. Maybe it might be a good opportunity to make fun of it and bond with your grandkid. I don't know. But still, tradition and values have kind of just gone down the toilet when it comes to this stuff. So it's not, my friends, and a lot of you may understand, I mean, again, I don't have anything to do with Boy Scouts of America, but I could imagine something that I've been a part of, that I bought into, completely changing and flipping on its head. I would feel kind of betrayed. I would feel very passionate about it, and I bet you guys feel the same way. So anyway, this rebrand is another shift for an organization steeped in tradition that did not allow gay youths or girls to begin joining its ranks until relatively recently. Which I mean, I don't have a problem with. You guys might say, well, Jaden, why not gay youths? Look, are you women okay with straight dudes changing in your locker room, hanging out with you 24/7, in the most, going out in the woods with them and doing whatever? Like, let's be real, bro. A lot of these gay dudes are basically just females, bro. I'm not, like, I saw this clip. I forgot who it was. It was I think it was Tim Hardaway Sr. He's the dad. He's the father of a NBA basketball player, Tim Hardaway Jr. And he he actually said that when I played in the NBA, I would never be on the same team as a gay person. Not necessarily because, you know, gay people are just terrible, but because it's the same reason why you don't want to share a locker room with a woman. That gay person's attracted to you. And so why would you, and so I'm assuming that's why Boy Scouts of America didn't allow the same sex attractiveness people to be in the ranks. And I believe that's fine. Obviously, girls is self-explanatory. But it says this: seeking to boost flagging membership numbers, the Irving, Texas-based organization announced the name change Tuesday at its annual meeting in Florida. It says this quote: "In the next 100 years, we want any youth in America to feel very, very welcome to come into our programs." Roger Crone, who took over the last fall as president and chief executive officer, told the Associated Press in an interview before the announcement. The change will effectively take place on February 8th, 2025, timed to the organization's 115th birthday. Man, man, that sucks. I feel bad for y'all, bro. I guarantee you. So you know what? So their whole point of this is to allow more people to come in. They want to leave more room for people to come in, but I guarantee this is going to make their numbers like drop, because people are not going to have this. Again, like you saw how with Bud Light, Target, all these places, Boy Scouts of America is no different. The organization began allowing gay youth in 2013 and ended a blanket ban on gay adult leaders in 2015. In 2017, it made a historic announcement that girls will be accepted as Cub Scouts as of 2018, and into the flagship Boy Scout program, renamed Scouts BSA in 2019. Over 6,000 girls have now achieved the vaunted Eagle Scout rank. Man, that sucks. That really sucks, because again, I really think that there's something there's something prideful about being, in a good way, by the way, about being a Boy Scout or Eagle Scout as a guy, and as a female. I mean, don't they have Girl Scouts? They have Girl Scouts, right, Tyler? Yeah, they have Girl Scouts. Oh yeah, here's this right here. The Girl Scouts of the USA, a separate organization. Why the heck would you... Hold up. Why the heck would you... You already have Girl Scouts. Wait a minute. Yeah, they have Girl Scouts. Girl Scout cookies. Those are... Actually, no. Those are overrated. Those are overrated. None of them are ever soft. They're always hard. And honestly, the flavors aren't. I'll get the mint ones. The mint ones are good. The chocolate mint ones. You ever had those? The lemon ones. Those are pretty good too. But most of them are like, I'm good. I'll just do it to help you out. you know. Anyway, there's Girl Scouts. Why the heck? Okay. A separate organization has clashed with the Boy Scouts in recent years over its recruitment of girls. The Girl Scouts, hold up. Wait a minute. Can I read that again? The Girl Scouts of the USA, a separate organization, has clashed with the Boy Scouts in recent years over its recruitment of girls. Bro, so not only do the Boy Scouts themselves not support this, but the Girl Scouts, women they don't even agree with this, according to leftist Associated Press. Bro, what? I didn't even know this. A wave of reaction to the change on social media included criticisms that the word boy will no longer appear in the name, including from Republican Senator Ted Cruz of Texas, which he's absolutely correct. Like other organizations, the Boy Scouts of America lost members during the pandemic when participation was difficult. After a high point over the last decade of over 2 million members in 2018, the organization currently serves just over 1 million youth. So they lost half in just 2 years for the pandemic, including more than 176 girls and young women. Membership peaked in 1972 at almost 5 million. So they just been going down over the years in general. I mean, that's why they've been losing membership, and they've decided to bend the knee to the woke mob, and in hopes of getting their numbers back up. Honestly, I don't really need to read any more of this. Yeah, I mean, who cares? It's just a bunch of woke stuff. Yeah. Okay, who cares? So, so basically, in conclusion, my friends, this has officially gone too far. I mean, like, look, now even Girl Scouts are saying, "Hey, this is wrong. Don't take this away from us. Like, we're trying to get people too. We want girls, you know." And I guarantee you, Girl Scouts here's an idea. Why don't you just take out Girl Scouts of America, make it something gender neutral, like the Boy Scouts of America did, and steal some of their membership. At this point, who cares who's in? It doesn't matter. I mean, girls aren't girls anyway. I mean, what is a woman? You know, let me join Girl Scouts of America. I'll sell some cookies. You know, I'll take part in getting the patches and earning my way up on the totem pole. You know, so yeah. Anyway, this is all just stupid. It's a bunch of hocus pocus, and yeah, I don't understand that. By the way, my friends, I do want to go ahead and address this. Very, very soon, I am coming out with some Let It Be Heard merch. I know, right? Super exciting stuff. And I've already built the website. It's actually live, but I'm not done adding things. However, my friends, I am so excited for this. Let me tell you why. It's not just going to be some podcast merch with my logo on it or my name on it. Okay, that's lame. You guys don't want to buy that. Okay, I don't want to buy that. But I want to make it very easy to support this show and causes that you support while also repping what you guys believe in. And so I decided to go down a more pathway where it's more like a clothing line. So, my friends, you get access to Christian apparel, conservative apparel. You want a premium tote bag? I got it for you. We got pro-life tote bags. We got conservative sweatshirts. We got Christian shirts. It's going to be live very soon, and I'm so excited to drop this for you guys. But in the meantime, just be patient with me. I'm working through all this by myself. But I just want to go ahead and tease that for you guys because I'm super excited to drop all this stuff. And Lord willing, I'll be able to tease some of the merch in a few episodes. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that article. I mean, this story is crazy. I can't believe that they actually changed the name. But anyway, coming up next, I'm super excited, my friends. We have this amazing girl named Taylor. She was a Christian who worked at Starbucks and was fired for her beliefs. So stay tuned for that. Americans have had enough of these woke companies being funded by our tax dollars and even our own money, my friends. Are you guys tired of compromise? It's time to switch to Patriot Mobile. Patriot Mobile offers dependable nationwide coverage, giving you access to all 3 major networks, which means you get the same coverage you've been accustomed to without funding the left. They are the only Christian conservative wireless provider, and they're an example of putting the cause ahead of profits, and that's why I am so proud to partner with them. When you switch to Patriot Mobile, you support the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the sanctity of life, our military, veterans, and first responder heroes. Their 100% US-based customer service team makes switching super easy. You get to keep your number, you keep your phone, or you can upgrade. Their team will help you find the best plan for your needs. If you would just go to patriotmobile.com/heard or call 972-PATRIOT, you get a free activation if you use my code HERD. Again, that is patriotmobile.com/heard or call 972-PATRIOT. So, Patriot Mobile guys, make the switch. Stop funding the left and start funding causes that care about your causes. Okay, if you support the First Amendment, Second Amendment, little babies in the womb, Patriot Mobile donates to hundreds of organizations. Give them your money and stop giving these woke companies your money. But anyway, guys, now that that's out of the way, I have a very special guest joining the show. Let me give you guys a little bit of background. I was just scrolling through TikTok one day, not even trying to find videos or anything. I was just scrolling. And y'all know my feed. My feed is fire, okay? And I got really cool Christian content that comes up, but sometimes there's some leftist stuff that comes up because I have a show, I have to react to it. But I came across this awesome girl named Taylor, and she was super brave at her job. So I'm gonna let her tell her story here in a second. But long story short, she is an example of putting values before money, or values before worldly things. You know, she really stands on Bible, and that's what we're all about on this show. And so, Taylor, why don't you introduce yourself? Where are you from? I mean, tell us how you were raised. I mean, I want to know everything about you. You know, not too much personal information,
Right.
but like,
Yeah, no, it's all good.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm a full-time North Carolinian. North Carolina is my baby. But yeah, so I'm from North Carolina and I'm 23. Right now I work as a house cleaner, but also work on my own stuff on the side. I write children's books and I write Christian music. Um, and then mainly right now I've just been on social media, building content and trying to, spread the gospel and provide information, explanations on certain Bible topics that I feel like a lot of people have a misunderstanding about. So yeah, that's really what I've been up to lately. So
Yeah, I actually saw. I was scrolling through your little TikTok for a little bit after I saw your video, and I saw that. I mean, you were making posts about, oh, can Christians judge and stuff, and these are common they're common like talking points from the Christian world that are just blatantly false. And so like I just really appreciate you, like your wisdom. You know, like I thought it was fire,
thank
like
you.
absolutely. So but
Thank you. I
anyway,
appreciate that.
yeah, good stuff on that front. And I didn't know you write music. I'm gonna need you to send me some of that. I've been looking for some more Christian music. So yeah,
Yeah, I'm trying to get in the studio sometime this week.
okay,
I can't sing to save my life, but like I write R&B music, and so like I was finally found a girl in my church who can hit some notes for me. So she's
sweet,
gonna work on that, and I'll do like rap or something. But
okay.
yeah.
Sweet, yeah.
hmm
Well, at the end we're gonna let you tell us where you can find all that, where we can find all that. But real
Okay.
quick, I want to get right into it. So, the audience may not know this story, but I mean, you had a TikTok go semi-viral, right? I mean, at least it was viral enough to reach my For You page. And
Right.
well, in the TikTok, you described this story of working at Starbucks. So, I want you to start from the beginning, like. You got fired from Starbucks well, you know what I mean. Like you basically got fired. You
Yeah.
basically got fired for being a Christian. Let's be real. I mean, come on. And so I want you to like from the beginning to the end, like from the moment like you first like through the hiring process, you saw the woke stuff, and then like to the end where like you had the meeting. Like I want you to just break that whole thing down for us because the audience is gonna eat this up, and I was fascinated by this.
Yeah. So basically, um, my dad was telling me that I should work at Starbucks, and mind you, my dad didn't know about Starbucks either.
Is your
He had
family
heard,
is your family like Christian conservative kind of or
yeah, I would say like they would identify with Christianity. Politically, though, it's a little wishy-washy. But for the most part, like, yeah, I would say, yeah, Christian for
Okay,
sure. We
cool,
don't know nothing else but that. So,
cool.
but yeah, my dad didn't know about Starbucks. My dad can have certain political views, but if there's one thing he's not really all about is, the whole like
LGTV.
LGBT
Bro,
stuff.
and
So,
Taylor, I actually tell my audience this all the time. A lot of black people vote Democrat. I mean, that's true. That's just,
right, yeah,
but,
yeah,
I mean, you grew up around black people, I'm assuming. I mean, I'm black. I grew
yeah,
up around a lot of black people.
right,
None of the people I grew up around is about that, like, at all. Like,
yeah,
you
no,
can't bring
yeah,
that to the, you know what I'm saying, to the friend group.
yeah,
You can't bring that to the hood. I mean, if you're from there, I mean, you know what I'm saying, like, black people are not for that. That's like propaganda from the media, I think. I mean, that's my opinion,
right,
but I mean, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, no, yeah, no, I completely agree. Like, it's interesting, to say the least. But yeah, my dad's friends, also my friends, told him that I should start working at Starbucks. She was a manager at Starbucks, and she told my dad that they had tuition reimbursement. And my dad is big on me getting my education and stuff, and so he was encouraging me to work there. I didn't know anything about Starbucks except that it was considered a bougie coffee shop. Um, I didn't like. I just didn't see a reason to be there because I couldn't even understand what the menu was even saying. Like, I didn't know what a frappuccino, cappuccino, latte was,
Same here.
until I started working there. But I thought it was cute because, entering my little feminine era, I was like, yeah, it'd be so cute. Work at a little coffee shop, finally learn what a latte is, and yada yada. So, yeah, so I started the hiring process there, and as I'm getting hired, I start looking around. I'm seeing T-shirts with pride flags and like all this stuff, and that's when I first learned that they had an LGBT campaign. And so, I was like, oh, okay, I see how it is. And then they gave us Black Lives Matter T-shirts, and I was like, oh, okay, I really see how it is over here. But I was like, you know what? This will be a good opportunity to kill like three birds, one stone. I'm getting my tuition reimbursement. I'm getting a job, and this would be a good opportunity to be surrounded by people with opposite views as me, and I can show them that, hey, you can be a kind Christian while still remaining in the truth. And it's just funny because, like, while I was there, I had lots of fun with my coworkers, and they they liked me, like they loved me, I loved them. So it won't no issue until we had like a new manager come in and these new enforced policies came in, basically stating that you have to use people's preferred pronouns and whatnot. And when that came in, I was basically explaining to my coworker and saying, hey, I don't mind using your name, and I don't mind trying to avoid the pronouns that you don't want me to use. For example, if you're a man and you don't like being a man, you want to be called a she or a they, I'll avoid saying he, but like I cannot call you like something that I know that God did not create you to be. Like, you're a man, like, just to put it simply. And that's but I try to explain it as nicely as possible to my coworker, and then I explained it to my store manager, and that's when um they were explaining to me like, yeah, you have to use their preferred pronouns. And I tried to give them explanations as to why, like, I cannot do that, and it's not me being discriminatory, and it's not like, yeah, it's not me trying to be discriminatory. So that kind of went on a back and forth for a little bit. And it was really funny because literally the night before, the district manager was having a conversation with me, I literally had a dream, um, that there was conflict at my job. And it was so interesting because at the time that I had that dream, I'm thinking it's like a exaggerated, dramatic version, like of the conflicts at my job. But what happened in my dream was there was literally conservative news outlets like at the store, and it was like, I remember specifically Matt Walsh being there. Yeah, it was funny. And they were getting mad about the pride display decorations. And that was another issue that was happening at my job, was they had this glass wall display, and on the glass wall they wrote different definitions for different sexual attractions. And I told them, I said, hey, like, I understand y'all's intentions, because I don't think that they were intending to come off as weird or predatory, but when you're not in Christ, like, your mind is influenced by the wrong thing, so you're gonna do things even if you don't have the intention of doing it.
Right.
So I told them, I said, hey, I don't think y'all have these bad intentions, but you have to be careful, because bottom line is we got families walking here, kids walking here, and they're reading about what a demisexual is. Like, it's just like, if I had a Christian coffee shop, I'm not going to put on the board Adam and Eve were sexually attracted to one another. Like,
Right.
that's, you're stepping on dangerous ground with that. And so I tried to tell them about that.
Can we just pause right there real quick? I mean, sorry, there's just a lot, there's a lot, because, man, like, I mean, I don't think you realize, I mean, you do realize, like, this is a lot. Like, this is some crazy stuff.
Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah, I'm trying to, like, short summary it, but it's so hard because there's, like, points I have to keep up with.
I don't want the short summary. I want everything. I want all the details. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
Okay, so hang on. Let's just pause real quick. Okay, so there's a huge glass mural or glass window, and it has all the sexualities. And I'm just like, okay, it's one thing to have, like, maybe a rainbow cup in the y'all sell cups,
right,
you know what I'm saying? There's a rainbow pride cup, but the whole store, it seems like it's just dedicated to sex, who you have sex with. And I don't understand, because Starbucks, again, like you said, it's like we have families walking in here. We have high school girls, middle school girls walking in here, like a lot. I mean, honestly, like when I went to middle school, I remember a lot of the white girls, bro. They would go like, I mean, they're also very underage, but they all went to Starbucks down the street. They just you walk down the street, there's a Starbucks, and I know if I had a daughter in middle school and she was walking down the street to Starbucks, and she saw that every Thursday or Friday, every time they got out of school, maybe a little bit earlier or whatever, I don't know, whatever the circumstance is, and they want to hang out with their friends, they're seeing that stuff. That's not appropriate. Even if you support LGBT or LGTV, I'm sorry. If you support that stuff, why would you want your kid to be exposed to sex in general? You know what I'm saying? And writing definitions of, like, for example, demi-sex, what does that mean? Like, why does that matter to the people walking in to order some coffee? I don't understand why that matters. You know what I'm saying? And then you said something about they handed y'all Black Lives Matter shirts. So that means that did you have to wear that on your shift, or was that an option?
Oh, yeah, no, that was an option.
Okay, good.
And
okay.
I didn't wear that.
Just clarifying. Okay.
And that was like the other funny part, because like once they gave us the shirts, I came in the next day, and my coworker was like, "You're not gonna wear your shirt?" I was like, "Why should I wear my shirt?" Like, is it because I'm Black? Like, but
what was the demographic? Is everybody mostly white here, or I'm just curious.
I would say, I mean, it's pretty mixed, but like still, I would say mostly white, but yeah, like I would say it's pretty diverse, like 60-40.
Right. And so, and then you said you had a conversation with, or I mean, I don't know how brief or how long it was, but you said you very kindly told your store manager, and the trans person, I'm assuming that was working there, hey, look, I love you, I respect you, but I have my like they have their boundaries. They have their freedoms. I have my freedoms, and I have my boundaries. I don't feel comfortable using this pronoun, so I'll even call you by your name. Now I have a question: did this person have a new name than what they did before? And were you willing to call them that new name? I mean, because legally, I mean, that is their new name. So like, I would be fine calling them whatever. If they change their name to Sally, that's their name. Okay, fine, sure. But because I wouldn't be lying to them at that point. Their name is actually Sally. So how did that how did that trans person take it? And like, were you said earlier that you were kind of cool with these people like beforehand. So like how was Explain that a little bit.
So yeah, like the person I was talking to was like one of my best, like, you know how you got your best coworker friends, like,
I know.
yeah,
Trust me.
so yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so he was like one of my best coworker friends, like he felt like family. So at the time I was telling him, like, he wasn't really, like, it was respectful, and he was like, I understand and all this and all that. But after the whole display thing happened, and then I let my manager know that, I can't do this and that, people start talking and whatnot. And when I was telling my coworkers, hey, we can't put that on the board, they got very defensive, because it's just like, and I feel like they did that because they already knew I was a Christian.
Right.
Like, and people from my job, a lot of them were following my social media account, so they knew how I talk about Christianity.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be nice, but we're not gonna act like the Bible is not the Bible. So
Amen.
I felt like it was a lot of like, yeah, she's uncomfortable with like gay people, trans people, whatever. And next thing you know, after I had this dream about conflict being at my job, my store manager comes up to me at work the next day and is like, yeah, me and the district manager need to talk to you. And they're telling me that there's been complaints made about me. And a lot of it was like false, because one of the complaints was basically about the whole display thing. And I'm just like, y'all, I did not sit up here and say, like, I'm mad that y'all put gay stuff on the board. I even told them, I said, even if you were to wrote heterosexual is this type of sexual attraction, like, it's unnecessary. Like, we don't need to put that up there. And then it was like, oh, I just feel like, she's uncomfortable with my identity and this and that. And I'm just like, you have the right to do whatever you want to do, but just because I'm not, all excited about, you wanting to take these hormones or do this transition or start wearing dresses or whatever, like, I feel convicted in expressing excitement about that. Like, that just does not feel right. So I just keep quiet. I don't say nothing. I don't look at you no type of way. I see everybody as somebody who is created by God. God let them be here, but I can't just support whatever you want to do. So I just said that, and I tried to explain to the store manager and the district manager, like, a lot of things that people don't think about, because, they came to me with these usual counter arguments that I hear about transgenderism, and I tried to explain. But in conclusion, I ended up getting let go. It wasn't very hostile. Even my store manager, when they were letting me go, he told me, like, hey, I don't think that you're a bad person. Like, you genuinely care. It's just a misalignment in values. And so, yeah, they let me go over the whole pronoun thing. But really, it was up to the people who were ahead of them, because they said that they had to check in with, I don't even know what the titles are, but the people ahead of them, and then the people ahead of them would get back to them and let me know if I should be let go.
The
So
people who
they
don't even
made
know
it.
you, who didn't even talk to you, make the decision essentially.
Yeah. So I was, and the description of why I was fired on my termination paper was like off the chain. Like, it made me sound like I was freaking Hitler. Like, Taylor refuses to respect her coworkers. She is
Wow.
clearly, discriminatory and all this other stuff on that paragraph. And I was just like, all right, because honestly, when I first started working at Starbucks and I found out how liberal it was, I was just like, okay, I'll just keep in mind that, I could run into something having such extreme opposite views, but I'm gonna just make the most of my time here. And when my time is up, my time is up. So it wasn't no hard feelings over it. Um,
But you know the
but yeah.
irony of all this is, so they accuse you of being non-respectful and discriminatory. However, they're discriminating against your beliefs. They're discriminating against your values. They don't respect
Mm,
you because it seems to me like you really gave them as much respect and love as possible. I mean, literally, I wouldn't have handled it that way. I would have been a lot more, that's just me. I'm not saying that it's better to do it this way. I'm just saying, I mean, the audience knows me. I know myself. My family knows me. I'm raising, like, bro, I am, as soon as I see, like, the first sign of wokeness anywhere I work, I'm just like, hey, can you tell me about, like, why we have that? Like, what's the point? I was straight up just asked, like, hey, what's the point in that? And I don't really care.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? I worked at some burger spot here in Auburn, and there was literally nothing woke at all. But every now and then a song would come on. Like, a song would come on it's in a whole dining hall, so there's multiple restaurants, and this Lil Nas X
mhm,
song would come on, but there's families coming in, and I'm literally straight up asking my manager, like, hey, like, why the heck are we playing? Well, we're not playing it, but why the heck is this building playing that music? Especially if it's the playlist had to be approved by the university too. So, like, because it was
mhm,
connected to university. So why on Family Day on Sunday we have family days where, like, families bring in their kids. I was like, why are we playing this
mhm.
terrible music? You know what I'm saying? But it was blurred
Yeah.
out. But, like, I would just straight up, like, that's not even woke. That's just, like, kind of just inappropriate a little bit. And I was straight up just ask,
Mhm.
like, whatever. So, but you, Taylor, have a lot more patience than I do, and so that's why I really appreciate you. But I can't believe that they just straight up kind of bullied you on that firing report. But it's nothing we don't really expect as Christians. As you know, I mean, more than anybody else. We're gonna face persecution. I'm not saying getting fired from Starbucks is necessarily, like, worse than what the apostles went through, or, like, what people are going through right now across the ocean. But, and this is a big but, it's still a form of persecution. I mean, it's still a form of
Right. Yeah.
discrimination. All persecution is persecution, and it's still not fair. Ultimately, what's
Mhm.
gonna happen in the end. We're not really necessarily gonna be able to complain about we're not working at Starbucks. Pretty soon, it's gonna be like we're not gonna have any friends or family. People are gonna be out to get us, and
Right.
I get all that, but it's still not right, and it's still worthy of talking about
Mhm.
and bringing light to. Taylor, what would you give if, like, someone in your position who may be going through the same thing, maybe not specifically at their job, but maybe they're losing friends or family, maybe they're in a classroom where it's a hostile environment to them. I mean, you handled it so well. I'm just curious, like, what advice would you give to somebody who's going through that similar thing?
Um, yeah, I would say, well, one of my favorite Bible verses is when Jesus said, in this life you will have trouble, but take heart, I've overcome the world. Like, first is just having peace and knowing that as long as you're doing your part, like, who cares, honestly? Like, I would say, and I feel like God is very intentional about how he sets up our lives, because one thing I learned very early in life is, like, it really doesn't matter, like, what you have. What matters most is your relationship with God, and then second place is your relationship with other people. And it's just like, okay, if you're trying your best and you know that this is exactly what God said to do, then there's nothing else you can do. Like, you just keep pushing. And don't take it personally when people, like, insult you. Um, we're not fighting against flesh and blood. This is spirits at work. So, you just got to try to separate the spirit from the person and just pray that they're going to be a Saul to Paul at some point, because I've seen it in my own life where I remember the first time I posted about homosexuality on TikTok and why this is sin. And, you know, I've had people who, disagree with it at first and come back to me later saying, hey, like, I'm grateful that you posted that, because that's something that, like, God has been working with me on. So it's just like, don't look at the negative too much, because, yeah, I have people flooding my DMs talking about, God wants you to kill yourself and yada yada. But what means more is the people in my DMs saying, hey, you're right. People who are formerly gay or formerly trans or whatever. And you just don't worry about it, and never underestimate the power of a seed. Like, as long as you planted a seed, you might not see it for months. You might see it a year later. But just keep trusting and persevering. It's going to be okay.
Yeah, that's good, Taylor. That's some fire right there.
Thank
Lastly, before we wrap up, I want to hear your testimony. Like, like how did you come to Christ? I mean, what's your story?
you. That's like a longer story. Basically, I grew up, in Christian school and the church and stuff, but I would say it was more of a label than a lifestyle. And, I had a lot of questions um, that I didn't really get answered until I gave my life to Christ in 2020.
Hey,
Basically,
same.
you said
I
what?
said same. I said same here. Sorry, go ahead.
Right, yeah,
2020,
yeah.
2020. Sorry, yeah,
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome. That's what's up. But, yeah, I basically, I saw that I had a lot of issues in my life, and I was also very depressed and suicidal. Um, and, I was like, I need to fix myself. I need to fix myself. And at first, I was going to these new age practices for it, because that was what was in my face at the time. Um, and, for a time, like, it did show me that, yes, Taylor, like, the spiritual realm is definitely real. But God worked through it to be like, yeah, okay, it's real, but not every spirit is good. I need you to understand that God has a name. And that's when God kind of reached out to me and started throwing hints that, hey, it's Jesus that you're looking for. So um, my Jesus anniversary is July 5th. That's when I officially said, yeah, I'm going to take the whole Bible as truth. And ever since then, I've been asking God, hey, can you answer my questions? And well, prior to that, I was like, I was going nuts. So I was like, God, if Jesus isn't real, like, I'm logging out. Like, I'm logging out of this earth for real. So I need you to show up. So he definitely showed up. Answered a lot of my questions. I told God, I want to ask you questions like an atheist, so I know what to say when I get confronted about certain challenging questions, like, oh, why is God a he? Is the Bible sexist? Yada, yada, yada. And then I saw miracles for the first time. I didn't even know that prophecy was still a real thing. And
Yeah.
I've seen people who are paralyzed get out their wheelchairs. I've seen my friends get delivered and healed. Like, this stuff is real. So I'm like, yeah, I'm like, there's no point in backing down. And if I'm gonna get hated, I'm gonna get hated for the right thing. So yeah.
Taylor, that's fire. I love that. Yeah, I mean, similar story actually. I mean, I mean, I don't even think I've told my testimony on my own show. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I'm like 86 episodes in.
Dang, yeah, you
But I
gotta get
mean,
out there.
yeah, I mean, I've seen stuff. I mean, my back, I had really bad back problems from working at the burger joint that I worked at, and
Mm-hmm.
I keep talking bad about them. I loved everything about that job. I don't care
I'm
what anybody
sorry.
says. I loved
Right.
them. But anyway, but anyway, working the grill all day, you know how it is. So
Right, yeah.
anyway, I had very bad back issues, and my friend James is, well, he actually discipled me. He's amazing. I love James so
Mm.
much. Think about the most godly man you know, the most nicest man you know, and the most kind and giving person you know, and then multiply that times 10 and put it all together. That's James, okay? And
Oh
so
yeah.
anyway,
That's a
he says,
good
Jaden,
biblical name
yeah,
too.
yeah, exactly, yeah. So,
Yeah.
I showed up to church one day, and he's like, Jay, let me see your Bible. I'm like, okay. And at this time, I'm like, again, very bad back problems. But I didn't mention anything yet, and so he starts writing in it.
Mm-hmm.
What? No, actually, no. Before this, I was like, James, I have really bad. Can you like pray for my back, man? Like, Like, just like, I don't know, it hurts, bro. He's like, yeah, sure, man. He prays for my back. And then he asked for my Bible, and he starts writing in it. And as he's writing in it, my back is healed. So it wasn't immediate after he prayed for it. It was after he sat down and started writing my Bible. And then I don't know if he wants me to say this on the show, like what he wrote down, but he wrote down, basically, long story short, there's going to be two people in this world. Those who bend the knee today or bend the knee when Christ returns. Bend the knee today, Jaden. May the lamb who was slain receive his reward, or something like that. And he signed his name. And I was just like, I don't know, I almost cried. Like, it's like, bro,
Yeah.
like, yeah, but like, stuff like that, no
Mhm.
one can tell me. I don't care what evidence you have. I don't care what kind of arguments you have against Christianity.
Right.
That's my testimony right there. Like, that is what happened to me, okay? And
Yeah.
it's not a coincidence that someone uses the name Jesus to heal someone, or uses the name Jesus
Right.
for someone to get up and walk. Like, these miracles are not just like a coincidence, because they're all in the name of Jesus, okay?
Right.
So anyway, that's my rant for the video. But anyway, Taylor,
Amen.
any last thoughts that you have? And where can we find you?
Yeah, I would definitely say, follow me on TikTok. I'll be dropping stuff soon.
What's your
Um,
TikTok?
it is EDBL22, Edible 22. It's a name I came up with a long time ago. I used to think I was gonna have like a cooking channel. It was gonna be edible, but it's set for edified, devote, build, love. But yeah, I
Okay.
never changed it. So, um, but yeah, EDBL 22. Just it's Proverbs 31 content, all things girly, all things godly. And yeah, I'll be dropping stuff soon, and I'll also with my friends. My friends are very talented as well, so we'll be collaborating. And yeah.
Sweet. And the music, is it gonna be on? I'm assuming it's gonna be everywhere. Spotify. Is there any music out right now, or will it be later?
Yeah, it's gonna be later because I haven't
Okay.
recorded anything yet, but definitely
Okay.
looking to this week. Yeah.
Sweet. Sounds good. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, Taylor, thank you so much for coming on the
Yeah, of
show.
course.
Guys, go follow her TikTok. Can you say your TikTok at one more time for us?
EDBL 22. Edible
Cool. Yeah, she
22.
has a lot of good stuff on there. Like, just it's good. She has like little slides with like how to answer certain things or answers to questions. So she has some really good stuff. Taylor, thank you for sharing us for your story. And we're gonna continue with this episode, but thank you again for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me, for real.
Yep. All right, guys, we got this video from Students for Life. Kristan Hawkins did a speech. I don't know where university is specifically, but this guy came up to the microphone and told his story about his daughter who was tragically aborted without his consent at 5 months. It's really touching. So anyway, so just be warned. But you might get some teary eye, but it's gonna be a good one. Check it out.
As my friend said, we drove quite a little bit to be here today. Before I get into my question, I just wanted to say my daughter's name is Clementine. She was 5 months along when she was aborted in New Jersey.
Pause it real quick, Tyler.
My daughter.
Notice the language that he's using, by the way. His daughter, okay? His daughter was aborted, not his potential daughter, not his fetus, okay? His daughter was aborted at 5 months, okay? Very tragic. But listen to the language that he's using, that he might even continue using throughout this whole video. I'm very intrigued. And yeah, sorry, keep going.
Was healthy. I begged her mother not to go through with the abortion. For 5 months, we went back and forth. I don't hate my ex. I love her. And I'm working on forgiving her. She was confused. She was uncertain. And she had doubts. Mike Tyson has doubts before he gets into a ring. This was an option, and she took that option, and she regrets it now. Why do you think, and this is just a thought that just came into my head, why do you think that people dehumanize my Clementine? Why wasn't she human enough for people to help me mourn? Why wasn't she human enough for people to talk about? My mother was given birth to prematurely at 5 months. My daughter was 5 months. I didn't get to say goodbye to my daughter. I didn't know about the abortion until after it happened. I begged her not to do the appointment. She told me that she canceled it. My daughter was 5 months and she was ripped apart. My daughter doesn't get a funeral. My daughter doesn't get respect. As my friend asked, medical testing on a healthy baby. Why? My girlfriend didn't pay for the abortion. The clinic did. How much money did they make off of my daughter's body? How many other babies
Pause it real quick.
did the doctor kill?
Yeah, I mean, that's such a. I'm glad he realized it. Yeah, the clinic didn't pay for that, bro. The clinic didn't actually pay for that. They profited off of that. The clinic didn't lose any money. Clinics, I don't even like to call them clinics. They're abortion mills. Okay, they're concentration camps. Okay, these are death mills. These are murder mills. Okay, the abortion mill didn't make any. Didn't lose any money. Okay, that's a great question. How much did they make off of your daughter's body parts? That's a great question. Now, I know someone knows the answer to that. I know someone does. I don't know the answer to that, but I can tell you 100% they profited off of your daughter, off of your daughter's dead body, and over your mother, and over your ex-girlfriend's or whatever she is, off of her ignorance or off of her mistake or off of her, or obviously in her case it was premeditated. She was pondering on it. It seemed like she had a lot of information from you. So, I mean, honestly, as much as I want to say that she's a victim, and she regrets it now, and she's a victim in that sense, but, ultimately, what she knows what she did was wrong, and I think she knew what she was doing was wrong too. And honestly, shame on her for going behind your back. And, I mean, I'm glad that you forgive her, and we all should forgive her and give her grace, But at the same time, this isn't. It's not like she just accidentally ran over a squirrel on the road, So, but anyway, and yeah, I mean, the abortion mill has absolutely profited off of your daughter's body, and that's just absolutely sad. I'm really heartbroken for him because he knows ultimately, and I don't know how to cope with it, especially if everyone's telling you it's not a real baby. Especially if everyone's telling you you're a man, you don't have a say in your own child's life. Especially if everyone's telling you that it's her body, her choice, it was her decision, and you're wrong to mourn over your potential daughter. It's not actually your daughter, it's just a fetus. Shame on people, honestly. Keep going.
Since she's been dead, this has been a month and 3 days. This happened March 12th and 13th. My daughter was conceived October 25th. She was supposed to be born July 20th. My daughter was a person.
That's right.
My daughter is an angel. And I pray for her every single day. I talk to her. I still feel like she's there. I feel like on July 20th, my daughter is going to be there. She doesn't get a funeral. I have her sonogram picture the first time I heard her heartbeat. And I bring this up to people and I say, well, she had a heartbeat. Wasn't she a person? And I'm being told she's a fetus. Which, by the way, everybody, That's Latin for offspring. Okay? So I don't know why we're speaking Latin. I speak English. And my daughter not only matters, but I do not want my daughter to be forgotten. I want my daughter's story to be talked about. I want her to be remembered. She wasn't just a fetus. And yeah, maybe she was just a 10%. Maybe. But she was a lot more than that for me. For 5 months, I'm told by my friends, I'm crying over somebody I never met before. I'm told by people, well, she wasn't even a person. She was just a fetus. She wasn't even a baby. She wasn't.
Yeah, notice this language that the pro-abortion lobby uses, right? This is why language matters, my friends. Like I said in the earlier video, pay attention to this guy's language. The story hits home so well because this guy is using a certain language. Okay, he's using words that have meaning to it, right? He said, like, for example, he said, why are we saying fetus? Okay, fetus is a Latin word for offspring, okay? So imagine if we went around just saying the English word for fetus all the time, offspring, offspring, offspring. That has a lot more meaning to it than just fetus, okay? Fetus is just a Latin word for that, okay? So I don't know why we're using Latin, okay? I don't know why we're pretending like it's not what it is, because the child inside the womb, the preborn human being that is made in the image of God in the womb, is worthy of as much as protection as we are, okay? And if we use that language that he's using right there to counter the pro-choice or the pro-abortion lobby language, it paints an entirely different picture for people who maybe you're arguing against, for people who are considering getting an abortion. You know, these are things that we can use to change people's minds, okay? Even worse than this is, I mean, his friends or so-called friends using this language as well that they've been fed to try to cheer him up or try to, hey, man, get over it, you know? But this guy knows, just like we all inherently know, that the preborn is fully human, just like any of us are, okay? They're not a 3/5 of a person. They're not a 10%, like he said. They're uniquely made in the image of God with a whole new set of DNA. Like they said, like his child had a heartbeat, okay? And at 5 months, bro, your child is easily has all the what you call parts and all their I don't even know why I'm struggling to say this, but like the child has all its necessary like components, okay? That's what I'm trying to, it has all its arms, its legs, and everything. It's just growing at that point, okay? It has a fully functioning nervous system, all that stuff, and we choose to throw that away in the name of choice? That's wrong. That's wrong. And many fathers across this country have this same story. This video should be played at every abortion mill in the lobby. And I guarantee you, if every woman who was considering abortion saw this video, they would reconsider. Not just based on the music in the background or just based on the guy's sad story, but simply just the language he's using alone. Guys, my friends, that impacts a lot more than you think, okay? Humans ultimately connect to emotion, especially women. No offense to my women viewers, but it's true, okay? Women are more emotional, men are more, physical and kind of, logical, that's why the Bible says that the man is usually the lead the wife, Anyway, keep playing it.
Fully developed. My daughter was still growing. And my relationship with my daughter was going to grow for the rest of our lives. Why isn't my daughter human enough for people to care?
Right.
Why isn't my daughter
look at the language
woman enough for her to have a body and for her to have a choice? My original question when I was coming up here was, can I see the clamps? I don't want to see the clamps no more. I've heard enough about it and I've seen the pictures. And yeah, the guy said Wi-Fi and Google search. You could Google what it looks like. It's out there. I did. I wouldn't recommend it. I still have nightmares. My daughter was going to be beautiful, but now I don't know where she is. I'm just so confused. I get it. I'm just a man. You know what I mean? But men, we're not supposed to have feelings. As a father, because I'm still a father. As a father, I'm just supposed to forget. I'm just supposed to move on. And I'm confused. So my question really isn't for you because you understand. My question is really for society. Why doesn't my daughter matter? Why wasn't she enough? Why didn't she get a chance to live? And ultimately, no, I'm not blaming my ex. She had doubt, and she regrets it. Ultimately, this is our government's fault. We've stopped evil laws in the past, in America, in Germany.
Can we pause it?
You guys know what I'm talking about.
That is, oh, yes. Oh, yes, yes. Yes. People don't understand this. And I might get some flack from the pro-life community on this take, but this is what I fully believe. Look at, with exception specifically to the civil rights movement, like that one was like, okay, there's a culture change, and then the laws change. I get that, 100%. I see where you're coming from on that. But but outside of that, every other human rights issue ever in history, let's just use slavery. Slavery is just so good. Slavery is like the best one to compare to because it just shows like it gives the right analogies for the my body, my choices, and the property and stuff like that. But he's so right, and this is what he's right about. America has stopped evil laws, okay? That's what matters. It doesn't matter what the people say. It doesn't matter what the culture says. It doesn't matter what the majority of people think. Evil is evil objectively outside of what society says, okay? So he's right in the sense of that his ex is not the reason why abortion is legal in this country. We can again, and I'm more of like I'm more radical in the sense of like, okay, yeah, I do believe that women are responsible for their own actions. A lot of them are deceived and misinformed. A lot of them are not. A lot of them know what they're doing. So I usually am pretty hard on it, right? But he is absolutely right. These women are not the reason why abortion is legal in the United States, okay? The reason abortion is legal in the United States is because of our government. Point blank, period, okay? We have chosen as a nation, aka our government leaders, that we're going to allow this, including our terrible Republican friends that we vote for every single term. Yes, Donald Trump, again, did a great thing for Roe, but he has blatantly said, and you guys can attack me all you want, he has came out and fully supported pro-choice bills explicitly. He's condemned Ron DeSantis' heartbeat bill. He's condemned the Arizona bill. So did Kerry Lake. And he's condemned other pro-life legislations, all right, despite saying that he's okay with the states deciding. It seems to be a contradictory statement to then criticize a state for being too pro-life. Shame on any politician that says such things. Yes, including Donald Trump. Again, look, in 2020 and 2022, I wrote my name right next to him. But let's be real here. Most of these people are fully pro-choice. They're not even pro-life, okay? You can say a lot of good things about a lot of these people. They're not pro-life, okay? This also brings me to my next point, okay? What should be the solution for this? Because he just said the truth, honestly. He said that abortion is legal in the United States because America has allowed it, okay? America has over the course of history stopped evil laws, despite what the public thinks, okay? Even in the 60s, even the Civil Rights era, most people still, I would say, did not support that. I mean, you saw what was happening. You saw the videos, you saw the pictures, you saw the backlash that the Civil Rights Act got. But even further back, slavery. Most people supported slavery, bro, in the South. I mean, if you disagree with that, then whatever. Okay, whatever. But anyway, despite that, America still abolished it. Okay, it doesn't matter what people say. Okay, it doesn't matter how or why or what. What matters is the truth. Okay, objective morals, objective truth. And ultimately, God tells us that it's wrong to kill an innocent person. It's wrong to kill. Thou shalt not murder. Okay? It's very simple. Very straightforward. And despite what society says, that is true. And America has a duty to do it. And if they don't, they will be judged. This nation will be judged for the slaughtering of children. Anyway, keep going, Tyler. I think this only has a little bit left.
We came together and we stopped evil laws. This is an evil law that killed my daughter. Her mother did not kill her. Again, doctors like this man right here, you're not to blame. Thank you for doing what you're doing, and thank you for speaking up, because this is important. And not enough men care enough
That's exactly
to
right.
speak up.
That's exactly
So
right.
thank you. I hugged this man today. I don't know who did this to my daughter. I wish I could ask him, was my daughter beautiful? That's all I want to know. What did her face look like? My daughter matters. And I really hope that everybody remembers Clementine, and I hope you think about Clementine as much as I do. She is loved, and she is not forgotten. And I hope that everybody can keep her memory alive too. Thank you.
That was good. I mean, seriously, like this whole video is gold. it's gold for a lot of reasons. And again, like the language in it's perfect. It should be played everywhere, including like including pro-life, maybe pregnancy resource centers and clinics. Seriously, everyone needs to see this video. Yeah, I think you guys have seen the live action videos where they go around doing man on the streets, and then they'll show you a video. They'll ask you whether or not you're pro-life or pro-choice. Person usually say pro-choice. Show them a video. They usually watch the video, maybe what an abortion is or something like that, and then their mind has changed. This video is golden. So I pray that the pro-life movement uses this story to push truth into the world, because ultimately we need things like this. We need stories, we need real people, we need emotion, we need language. We have truth. Okay, we have a lot of history on our side. We have God on our side. We have a lot. Imagine all that coupled with everything I just said, and man, we are a force to be reckoned with. Despite all this, I do believe that the pro-life movement is going to take a lot of L's this election season, sadly, and we've been seeing it over and over again. However, do not lose hope. Okay, there is always light at the end of the tunnel, and we serve a good God who loves us and desires more than us for these babies to be protected. Anyway, that'll be it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and honestly, I had a lot of fun this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. God bless you guys, and have a good rest of your week, and stay safe. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and X. And be sure to hit that follow button and that join button if you're here on Rumble. It'll take you over to our local channel where you can further support the show and get access to additional content. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and that like button. And if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever you're listening on, give us a 5-star rating and share with your friends and family. Again, thank you guys so much, and God bless.